If you're looking to improve your single leg strength and stability, I've got you covered in this week's video. I love big bang lifts like squats and deadlifts. There's nothing better than getting in the gym and pushing some serious weight or really getting after it. But you can love big bang lifts while still respecting the need for single leg training as well. Single leg exercises are great for improving our stability, control, and side-to-side strength. And let's be honest, many of us have issues with our mobility or strength on one leg versus the other. So we need single leg exercises in our program to help fill in those gaps. Now, keep in mind, before the exercise police come and rage on me, I realize not all of the exercises in this video are true single leg exercises. In fact, outside of single leg squats or RDLs, there aren't a ton of true single leg exercises to choose from. Instead, what I'm going to cover today are my favorite exercises to use where we can preferentially load one leg relative to the other. Now, before we dive in, if you're liking the content here at the channel, please make sure to like this video and subscribe so you know each and every week when a new video drops. Now, let's get in the gym and talk single leg training. One of the biggest issues that people struggle with in the weight room is keeping their center of gravity back. So you'll see a lot of times when people are doing squats or lunges, they get pushed really far forward and they can't change levels effectively. And sometimes that contributes to pain around their knees or their lower back. So if this sounds like you, make sure you're trying front foot elevated variations. So in this case, we're gonna do a goblet front foot elevated split squat. So I'm gonna take my kettlebell, I'm gonna put my front foot on this box, I'm gonna use the weight and my elbows. I'm gonna push the elbows forward to keep my center of gravity back. And then once I'm here, I'm gonna try and drop as straight down as I possibly can. So I'm thinking about tall through my torso, coming straight down, and then pushing straight back up, the whole time being balanced between my front and back legs. If you're loving the front foot elevated split squat, but you got a little bit of a turn, or you're trying to correct a turn, an offset front foot elevated split squat could be a great option for you. So in this case, if I want to turn myself from right to left, what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab this weight with my right hand. I'm going to put my left foot on the box. I'm going to think nice and tall through my torso and sitting straight down and pushing back up. Now, this is great for turning me into my left side. So this would be turning me into the cut on the left. If I want to learn how to get out of the cut on my right, I'll keep the weight in my right hand and do the same activity. So nice and balanced, up tall, control down, and pushing up. So fantastic activity for helping create a little bit more rotation through your body. One of my favorite single leg exercises is a what's that strap split squat. So the what's that strap is great. We all have this internal asymmetry that turns us left to right. We can use this strap to effectively turn us back from right to left with little or no cueing. So if you want to see how this is done, I attach it to the low handle of a cable, put it over my right shoulder, walk away so that I got a little bit of room to operate, and then I'm just in my standard split squat position. If you want to and it helps you balance, you can either reach forward with both or just your right arm, and then you're just lowering down, nice and controlled, feeling that whole front foot and then pushing to come back up. I really like this exercise because it's just fantastic for helping you feel all the right muscles. An OG all-time favorite single leg exercise is a rear foot elevated split squat. It's an awesome activity for building single leg strength, stability, and control. So in this case, I'm gonna grab 2 kettlebells, 2 dumbbells, whatever you have access to. I'm gonna put my rear foot up. I like to do it on a low box versus a bench. I feel like it's a little bit easier to control, but I'm trying to find a nice stable base, controlling down, and then pushing back up to the top. So control and push. Pretty much everybody watching this is gonna love to deadlift, but sometimes the deadlift doesn't love us, right? Back's a little bit sore, you're feeling a little bit beat up. So in this case, I really like offset or split stance deadlift variations. In this case, we got a Campo deadlift. So to do this, you're gonna grab a kettlebell or dumbbell in one hand. If I want to turn to my left side, I like to put my right foot in front of my left. I like to feel both arches, soft knees, and then I'm thinking about pushing my booty straight back while keeping my knee soft. Very important, because what you'll see a lot of times when people do this, they really push their knee back excessively and all they feel is hamstring. I want to feel hamstring and glute at the same time. So soft knees, push the hips back while keeping that back knee bent just a little bit. If you're trying to create a turn or more rotation, then a split stance or staggered stance deadlift is probably a great choice for you. But if you want true stability and control on one leg, you need to try a single leg RDL. I'm gonna walk you through how to do it, then I'm gonna actually do it, because evidently I've tried like 8 times and I can't do them at the same time. So you're gonna set up, you want your knee soft, right? Your arm is long, and you're thinking about coming straight down towards your toes. So you're locked in, under control. If you lose your balance, that's okay. Put your foot down in between and reset. So now, fingers crossed, here we go. Soft knee, coming down, and then coming up. Again, reset if you need to. While I absolutely love single leg squats, let's be honest, a lot of people aren't qualified to do them effectively early on in their programming. So instead, what I like to do is a more supported variation to start building that single leg squat while also helping people feel successful along the way. So when you're setting up here, I got a slant board, I got a box, and I'm just gonna set up near a power rack, or you can use a suspension trainer, whatever you have access to. But once you're set up, you got your weight on your left leg in this case, you wanna control yourself down and just use as much support as you need from the rack to help control yourself down and then help yourself push to stand up. So again, if you don't need the rack, don't use it, but I find it's a great option and a great tool for helping introduce you to more single leg training. One of my favorite things about split stance and single leg training is it gets us out of the traditional sagittal plane. So in this case, we're gonna do an alternating lateral split squat. So there's lots of ways you can do this, and you can play around with it, but one of the variations I like the best is with my feet out wide. I'm gonna take the weight. If I'm going to my right, I want the weight in my left hand. So you can see toes are pretty straightforward. I want my knees to come forward, but I wanna feel my arch, I wanna feel my quad and my glute when I sit into it. So I wanna feel my right quad, right butt, and then I'm gonna come back to my left side. And then I'm just gonna kind of switch and move side to side here. You're trying to make it smooth and athletic, but loading the hips and the quads is a fantastic way to start building the frontal and transverse planes. Step ups are an awesome activity for building single leg strength, stability, and control. So one of my starter variations is an offset step up. In this case, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna hold the weight in one hand, I'm gonna put my opposite foot on the box. Details matter here. I don't wanna be really far back and use momentum to step on. So I like my back foot to be in close. I like to feel my entire front foot on the box. Before I step, a lot of times I feel my quad, and then I'm thinking about pushing through the box to come up. So keep the back leg in close, feel that whole foot, push through the box to stand up. I guarantee you're gonna get more out of your step ups doing it that way. Our final single leg activity is a walking lunge. Now, let's be honest, it's an amazing activity, but it's also very hard, very challenging. And when I see a lot of beginners starting out with it in their workouts, it's like, no, don't start here. Start with something a little bit simpler and then work your way into this. So if you wanna do the walking lunge fairly well, you wanna grab dumbbells, kettlebells, whatever you have access to. Start with a tall and upright posture, and you're gonna take a normal step forward. Okay, so I wanna land, feel my entire foot, and then go straight into that next rep. So feel the whole foot, push, and then you're right into the next rep. All right, friends, I hope I've convinced you that single leg training is kind of a big deal, and you should definitely be incorporating it into your workouts. And if you enjoy videos like this, where I give you tons of variations of different exercises, be sure to check out my exercise variations playlist, where I give you tons of training options for all your favorite lifts.